Today, we are going to explore ancient and mysterious Iran, opening more questions. 9 uneasy places open like a living case file, as if a secret turned a page. Modern travel feels small against ancient land, making curiosity stronger. Darkness feels lived in, ancient, and claustrophobic, opening more questions. The monument feels heavy, exposed, and ancient, as if a secret turned a page. A grand ruin becomes suddenly human, making curiosity stronger. Still stone feels suspicious, opening more questions. The route is framed as ending in depth and silence, as if a secret turned a page. The settlement looks carved from survival, making it intimate and ancient. Ancient stone and daily life share one frame, as if the past still clings to stone. The room feels inhabited and compressed, and old life has not faded. The ceiling feels like a record of fire and winters, making it intimate and ancient. Ancient stone becomes domestic, as if the past still clings to stone. The mountain feels physically close, and old life has not faded. The space feels shaped by use, not decoration, making it intimate and ancient. Countless footsteps are implied, as if the past still clings to stone. Past and present share one cramped room, and old life has not faded. Human scale feels temporary against carved stone, making it intimate and ancient. Outside light feels harsh after darkness, as if the past still clings to stone. The wall feels practical and deeply used, and old life has not faded. Comfort is defined by shelter, not space, making it intimate and ancient. The village feels like a carved maze, as if the past still clings to stone. The cave feels sacred and suffocating, and old life has not faded. The village feels watchful, making it intimate and ancient. Each cave feels like an ember, as if the past still clings to stone. The feeling of stone follows the route, and old life has not faded. The route shifts from hidden caves to exposed brick, and the ancient mood feels clearer. The structure feels impossibly exposed, making history press harder. The ancient tower dominates the plain, as if each brick keeps memory. The monument feels like part of a sacred plan, and the ancient mood feels clearer. The huge monument becomes handmade detail, making history press harder. The tower feels severe and commanding, as if each brick keeps memory. Human scale nearly disappears, and the ancient mood feels clearer. Ritual movement has vanished, but the stage remains, making history press harder. Grand scale becomes forensic attention, as if each brick keeps memory. An accidental step feels more haunting than the tower, and the ancient mood feels clearer. Power and accident share one image, making history press harder. The desert feels like a slow attack, as if each brick keeps memory. The geometry feels deliberate and severe, and the ancient mood feels clear. The monument becomes labor, not magic, making history press harder. Repetition becomes power, as if each brick keeps memory. Modern presence feels brief, and the ancient mood feels clearer. The ziggurat belongs to a larger sacred complex, making history press harder. The baked clay feels briefly alive, as if each brick keeps memory. The small imprint outlasts empire, and the ancient mood feels clearer. The tower becomes a warning shape, making history press harder. The footprint stays emotionally louder than the tower, as if each brick keeps memory. The mystery shifts from mass to motion, and strangeness shows clearly. The building seems calm and ordinary, as if stone wants to answer. Symmetry feels like setup for a trick, making stillness less believable. Anticipation makes the courtyard feel staged, and strangeness shows clearly. Ordinary material begins to feel suspicious, as if stone wants to answer. Stability is about to be challenged, making stillness less believable. The movement feels wrong because the object is stone, and strangeness shows clearly. Resonance feels almost supernatural, as if stone wants to answer. Human reaction confirms the anomaly, making stillness less believable. Stillness feels less trustworthy, and strangeness shows clearly. The moving towers reconnect to tomb-like darkness, as if stone wants to answer. The shot suggests an unseen connection, making stillness less believable. Seeing both together makes dismissal harder, and strangeness shows clearly. The anomaly looks almost peaceful, as if stone wants to answer. The viewer leaves expecting movement again, making stillness less believable. The route moves toward near lifeless terrain, making this desert feel otherworldly. They resemble ruins before they reveal themselves as natural, in a place almost hostile to life. The desert feels like a dead city, where wind and sand make all feel strange. Damage reveals the invisible tool, making this desert feel otherworldly. The mind invents builders where only wind worked, in a place almost hostile to life. Absence feels aggressive, where wind and sand make all feel strange. The body looks accidental, making this desert feel otherworldly. Distance feels unreliable. In a place almost hostile to life, even shade feels temporary, where wind and sand make all feel strange. Nature imitates architecture too well, making this desert feel otherworldly. The landscape feels planetary in a place almost hostile to life. The space feels urban without houses, where wind and sand make all feel strange. The desert is still carving itself, making this desert feel otherworldly. The view offers no shelter in a place almost hostile to life. The false city becomes more convincing, where wind and sand make all feel strange. The desert becomes a trap of scale, making this desert feel otherworldly. A natural ruined city is left behind, in a place almost hostile to life. A rebuilt memory appears ahead, as if the city remembers the fall. Strength and fragility share one wall, making strong walls feel fragile. Damage remains visible, where memory stands beside collapse. The city feels full-scale and hollow, as if the city remembers the fall. Everyday noise has been removed, making strong walls feel fragile. Bam feels defensive and vertical, where memory stands beside collapse. The earthquake is felt through absence, as if the city remembers the fall. Restoration teaches the eye where to look, making strong walls feel fragile. From above, Bam almost looks whole, where memory stands beside collapse. The citadel makes weight feel dangerous, as if the city remembers the fall. The shape is strong, the material vulnerable, making strong walls feel fragile. Silence organizes the space, where memory stands beside collapse. The city is still returning to earth, as if the city remembers the fall. Sunset restores the illusion of permanence, making strong walls feel fragile. The route leaves a rebuilt wound, where memory stands beside collapse. The route shifts toward human remains, making discovery beautiful and disturbing. The emptiness hides disturbing discoveries, as if history tells its own story. The surface feels charged, like cold evidence left behind. Modern hands return to ancient evidence, making discovery beautiful and disturbing. The site becomes forensic silence, as if history tells its own story. Ancient surgery feels uncomfortable and bold, like cold evidence left behind. The object feels too modern for its age, making discovery beautiful and disturbing. The prosthetic feels intimate and unsettling, as if history tells its own story. The object reads as something made for a face, like cold evidence left behind. Ancient and modern collapse into one object, making discovery beautiful and disturbing. The person is suggested, not impersonated, as if history tells its own story. Small objects survive where lives vanish, like cold evidence left behind. The city appears as compressed time, making discovery beautiful and disturbing. The artifact seems to watch the exit, as if history tells its own story. The route moves from human remains to imperial stone, beneath royal power's still gaze. The sight forces humans to look up, making stone feel like a statement. The tombs feel unreachable, as if old authority still weighs here. The tomb reads like declaration, not burial, beneath royal power's still gaze. Stone still performs authority, making stone feel like a statement. Myth and kingship merge in stone, as if old authority still weighs here. Dead kings dominate the plain, beneath royal power's still gaze. Even the shadow feels hierarchical, making stone feel like a statement. Silence becomes architectural, as if old authority still weighs here. Stone turns into ceremony, beneath royal power's still gaze. The design succeeds before explanation, making stone feel like a statement. Time damages the stone, but not the message, as if old authority still weighs here. They look revealed rather than carved, beneath royal power's still gaze. The root leaves imperial height for dangerous ground, making stone feel like a statement. Monument disappears, danger remains, making emptiness feel frightening. Open space feels deceptive, where silence carries a warning. Solid ground appears thin, as if every step needs caution. Folklore gives emptiness presence, making emptiness feel frightening. The desert records hesitation, where silence carries a warning. A trap can look like a road, as if every step needs caution. Caution becomes survival, making emptiness feel frightening. Disorientation becomes danger, where silence carries a warning. Even high ground feels unstable, as if every step needs caution. The cursed reputation feels plausible, making emptiness feel frightening. The ground looks capable of keeping weight, where silence carries a warning. Turning back becomes wisdom, as if every step needs caution. The cursed name feels observational, making emptiness feel frightening. Night removes every clue, where silence carries a warning. Ground that looked empty behaved like threat, as if every step needs caution. The final place feels older than a ruin, making emptiness feel frightening. The lake feels like a dark eye, where silence carries a warning. Calm becomes threatening, as if every step needs caution. The sanctuary is organized around depth, making emptiness feel frightening. The lake feels like it keeps what it receives, where silence carries a warning. Stone looks unstable in water, as if every step needs caution. Every route returns to the lake, making emptiness feel frightening. The cone looks like a trap, where silence carries a warning. The approach feels like entering warning territory, as if every step needs caution. The mountain feels hostile, making emptiness feel frightening. The opening feels like a mouth, where silence carries a warning. The prison legend feels visually believable, as if every step needs caution. Human scale barely interrupts the sight, making emptiness feel frightening. The water feels deeper now, as if the route nears its final secret. The lake refuses visual certainty, and sacred unease grows thicker. The place gains power as detail disappears, making the ending feel unfinished. The site feels like a ritual diagram, as if the route nears its final secret. The name feels uncomfortable and precise, and sacred unease grows thicker. The lake seems to absorb light, making the ending feel unfinished. Cave, brick, desert, tomb, salt, and water converge, as if the route nears its final secret. The route becomes one chain of unease, and sacred unease grows thicker. Ancient life continues quietly, making the ending feel unfinished. A small accident outlives monuments, as if the route nears its final secret. Memory of vibration makes stillness suspicious, and sacred unease grows thicker. Nature imitates ruins without people, making the ending feel unfinished. The citadel keeps its scar visible, as if the route nears its final secret. The gaze becomes the strangest memory, and sacred unease grows thicker. Death becomes vertical authority, making the ending feel unfinished. Fear looks like empty ground, as if the route nears its final secret. Water feels like a mouth, not a mirror, and sacred unease grows thicker. The journey becomes a scar across paper, making the ending feel unfinished. Materials become the real witnesses, as if the route nears its final secret. Organizing the mystery makes it heavier, and sacred unease grows thicker. History becomes beautiful and hostile, making the ending feel unfinished. Survival does not look perfect, as if the route nears its final secret. The oldest scene is also ordinary, and sacred unease grows thicker. The past feels exposed, not polished, making the ending feel unfinished. The viewer is left choosing fear, as if the route nears its final secret. Fascination becomes the final hook, and sacred unease grows thicker. The route began inside stone, making the ending feel unfinished. The footprint remains louder than the tower, as if the route nears its final secret. Stillness becomes a withheld answer, and sacred unease grows thicker. The desert imitates a metropolis, making the ending feel unfinished. Permanence looks like a human fantasy, as if the route nears its final secret. The gaze refuses to leave, and sacred unease grows thicker. Power becomes eerie without obedience, making the ending feel unfinished. Ground threatens without footsteps, as if the route nears its final secret. Water keeps secrets beside a prison mountain, and sacred unease grows thicker. Travel becomes warning, making the ending feel unfinished. The route becomes a memory board, as if the route nears its final secret. Mysteries become touchable surfaces, and sacred unease grows thicker. People pass through, places remain, making the ending feel unfinished. The past becomes home, artifact, wound, trap, legend, as if the route nears its final secret. The ending refuses clean explanation, and sacred unease grows thicker. The object feels like it is waiting, making the ending feel unfinished. Depth feels haunted without showing anything, as if the route nears its final secret. The route remains like a scar, and sacred unease grows thicker. Iran stays ancient, layered, fragile, alive, making the ending feel unfinished. Mystery becomes domestic, as if the route nears its final secret. One footprint outlives a kingdom, and sacred unease grows thicker. Absence of motion becomes answer, making the ending feel unfinished. The desert feels inhabited by absence, as if the route nears its final secret. Fragility becomes truth, and sacred unease grows thicker. Objects speak for the dead, making the ending feel unfinished. Imperial power becomes dark shape, as if the route nears its final secret. Ground threatens quietly, and sacred unease grows thicker. The shape supports its frightening name, making the ending feel unfinished. The water keeps the final word, as if the route nears its final secret. The map feels unfinished, and sacred unease grows thicker. Mood survives without explanation, making the ending feel unfinished. Space remains for the final cut, as if the route nears its final secret. Each image feels like evidence, and sacred unease grows thicker. Darkness, heat, and depth define the route, making the ending feel unfinished. Disbelief begins in details, as if the route nears its final secret. Not every danger was human-made, and sacred unease grows thicker. Some sites dominate, others barely survive, making the ending feel unfinished. The road feels like it continues, as if the route nears its final secret. The past feels deeper than surface, and sacred unease grows thicker. The ancient gaze returns, making the ending feel unfinished. Human life appears as texture, as if the route nears its final secret. Ancient mass becomes fragile, and sacred unease grows thicker. Mystery rests in ordinary material, making the ending feel unfinished. The desert continues carving, as if the route nears its final secret. Repair is visible, not hidden, and sacred unease grows thicker. Explanation does not remove discomfort, making the ending feel unfinished. Damage strengthens age, as if the route nears its final secret. Danger is quiet and patient, and sacred unease grows thicker. Architecture meets depth uneasily, making the ending feel unfinished. The danger feels physical, as if the route nears its final secret. The full journey compresses into evidence, and sacred unease grows thicker. 9 places become one path of unease, making the ending feel unfinished. Materials become the witnesses, as if the route nears its final secret. Survival looks wounded, and sacred unease grows thicker. Landscape becomes active force, making the ending feel unfinished. Small traces become unforgettable, as if the route nears its final secret. Power becomes eerie without voices, and sacred unease grows thicker. Depth feels haunted without monsters, making the ending feel unfinished. The viewer is left choosing fear or fascination, as if the route nears its final secret. The journey ends, but feels unfinished, and sacred unease grows thicker. The discovery feels like it waits, making the ending feel unfinished. Iran remains layered, dangerous, fragile, alive, as if the route nears its final secret. The documentary leaves no clean explanation, and sacred unease grows thicker. The route ends in silence, making the ending feel unfinished.